Joseph Stalin. The name alone evokes images of power, brutality, and an iron grip on the Soviet Union. His very name sends shivers down the spine of those who remember the era of his rule. His reign, marked by rapid industrialization and a reign of terror, left an indelible mark on the 20th century. The transformation of the Soviet Union under his leadership was both awe-inspiring and horrifying. Yet, behind the steely gaze and the calculated persona lay a world of hidden truths, secrets buried under layers of propaganda and fear. The public image of Stalin was meticulously crafted to project strength and infallibility. This essay delves into the overlooked aspects of Stalin's life, shedding light on the man behind the myth. We will explore the lesser-known stories, the personal struggles, and the hidden facets that shaped his character. Stalin's public image was carefully crafted. Every photograph, every speech, and every public appearance was designed to reinforce his image as the unyielding leader. He was the man of steel, the infallible leader who guided the Soviet Union through revolution and war. His leadership during World War II cemented his status as a formidable figure on the world stage. But behind this facade, there existed a more complex figure, a man of contradictions, shaped by a past shrouded in secrecy. His early life, filled with hardship and rebellion, played a crucial role in molding his ruthless nature. Exploring these hidden facets of Stalin's life is not about absolving him of his crimes or softening his image. It is about painting a complete picture, understanding the forces that drove him to commit such atrocities. It's about understanding the man in his entirety, grasping the forces that shaped him and the impact of his hidden truths on the course of history. By examining his personal life, we can better understand the motivations behind his public actions. By unearthing these secrets, we gain a deeper understanding of Stalin's regime and its lasting impact on Russia and the world. The echoes of his rule still resonate today, influencing modern politics and society. One of the lesser-known facts about Stalin was his penchant for poetry. Before he became the dictator, we know young Joseph Jugashvili, as he was originally called, was a romantic, drawn to the beauty of words and the power of language. His poems, written in Georgian, were often melancholic, reflecting on themes of nature, love, and revolution. They reveal a sensitive side to the man, a stark contrast to the ruthless dictator he would become. These poems were published in Georgian newspapers and magazines, earning him a degree of local fame. However, once Stalin rose to power, these poems were suppressed. They presented an image of vulnerability, a chink in the armor of the man of steel. The existence of Stalin's poetry reminds us that even the most hardened dictators were once young and full of dreams. It adds a layer of complexity to his character, highlighting the transformative power of ambition and ideology. Long before he became the head of the Soviet Union, Stalin honed his skills in the shadows, working as a revolutionary. His early years were marked by a fervent commitment to the Bolshevik cause, a commitment that saw him engage in a variety of underground activities. He was deeply involved in clandestine activities for the Bolshevik Party, operating in the murky underworld of revolutionary Russia. These activities were not just about spreading ideology, but also about securing the necessary resources for the movement. This period of his life, often overlooked, offers crucial insights into his later paranoia and ruthlessness. It was during these formative years that Stalin learned the importance of secrecy, loyalty, and the ruthless elimination of threats. In the early 1900s, Stalin became involved in bank robberies, considered expropriations by the Bolsheviks to fund their revolutionary activities. These daring heists were not just about money, they were about striking a blow against the Tsarist regime. These operations brought him into direct contact with the Tsarist secret police, the Okhrana, a formidable force dedicated to crushing revolutionary activities. This exposure to the brutal realities of espionage and counter-espionage was a harsh education in the ways of power and control. This experience left an undeniable mark on Stalin. It was here that he developed a deep-seated distrust of those around him, a trait that would define his leadership style and his approach to governance. He developed a deep distrust of those around him, a trait that would define his leadership style. This paranoia was not unfounded. The world of revolutionary politics was rife with betrayal and intrigue. The skills he learned during this period, surveillance, information control, and the ruthless elimination of rivals, would later form the bedrock of his reign of terror. These were not just tactics, but survival mechanisms in a world where the stakes were life and death. Understanding Stalin's early involvement in clandestine activities is crucial to comprehending the paranoia and brutality that characterized his rule. His early experiences were a crucible that forged his later methods and mindset. It reveals the formative experiences that shaped his worldview and his approach to power. These early years were not just a prelude, but a blueprint for the future dictator he would become. The assassination of Sergei Kirov, a prominent Bolshevik leader and a potential rival to Stalin in 1934, remains one of the most controversial events of Stalin's reign. Kirov was not just a high-ranking official. He was a charismatic figure who had garnered significant support within the Communist Party. His growing popularity was seen as a direct threat to Stalin's grip on power. While officially blamed on enemies of the people, whispers of Stalin's involvement have persisted over the decades. Many historians argue that the circumstances surrounding Kirov's death were too convenient for Stalin, who used the event to justify a massive crackdown on dissent. Kirov, charismatic and popular, posed a threat to Stalin's absolute power. His ability to connect with the masses and his influence within the party made him a formidable opponent. Stalin, ever the paranoid leader, could not tolerate any potential rivals. His assassination, whether directly orchestrated by Stalin or opportunistically exploited, provided the pretext for the Great Purge, a period of unprecedented political repression that decimated the ranks of the Communist Party and Soviet society. Thousands were arrested, tortured, and executed, all in the name of rooting out enemies of the state. Evidence suggests that Stalin played a role in creating the conditions that led to Kirov's assassination. He may not have pulled the trigger, but his actions and policies certainly paved the way for such a tragic event. He ignored warnings about threats to Kirov's life and may have even encouraged the conspirators. Stalin's inaction, or perhaps even covert action, ensured that Kirov would not stand in his way. The Kirov affair marked a turning point in Stalin's rule. It was a catalyst that unleashed a wave of terror across the Soviet Union, fundamentally altering the political landscape. It unleashed his paranoia, justifying the elimination of anyone perceived as a threat, real or imagined. The purges that followed were brutal and widespread, affecting not just political figures but ordinary citizens as well. The event serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which Stalin was willing to go to consolidate his power. The Kirov affair is a stark example of how political paranoia can lead to devastating consequences for an entire nation.